What's up, anybody listening? Welcome back to the Bughead podcast. We took a little break throughout most of the end of December and January, but we're back here with another episode. I got a special guest for this comeback. I got Domino. How's it going, dude?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good myself. How you been? What have you been working on?
All right.
You just put out a new single. How was that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I mean, it's doing pretty good. It's only been about a week, I think. But yeah, it seems like people like it. I'm trying some new things, definitely. So, yeah.
Yeah, you put out pretty close together. Zion and Blood Sugar, kind of back to
Yeah.
back. Are those part of like a new project you're working on, or anything, or are they
Yeah,
just singles on their own?
Yeah, I've got an album that I'm working on right now. I've been working on it for a good long time. My last album came out like 2 years ago. So, yeah, it's called Jihad, and I've been just grinding out tracks. Zion actually was like I just like liked the song so much that I just like put it on SoundCloud. I didn't want to put it out on all platforms, but Blood Sugar, that I had been working on that for like months and preparing for that for like months.
So I've heard a lot of people, in what response I have seen to your music, call you like new metal
Hmm.
or just metal in general. But I'm looking at your hashtags on Blood Sugar and Zion, and one says Witch House and the other says electronic. So you're
Yeah,
obviously pulling from like a good amount of influences. Uh,
yeah.
is new metal like a genre that's influential on you? And what other genres do you like pull from pretty heavily?
Yeah, well, with Nadir, I would say that, yeah, I was definitely I was trying to update metal, to be honest, and yeah, I was listening to a lot of Korn and a lot of Deftones. I mean, obviously, I like Death Grips as well, and a lot of experimental things, and I just felt like metal had reached a point where things are just kind of mundane and just uninteresting, and at the time as well, I didn't really have a following, so I was just really doing it for fun, really, and yeah, just trying to update things. So new metal, yeah, has been kind of an inspiration, but I'm trying to get out of, being seen as just a metal artist, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely updating the genre. Like, I definitely hear the Death Grips and the Witch House influence in
Yeah.
most of your songs, even on Nadir, which you're saying was like supposed to be very metal. Um,
Hmm.
Something else I like that you do is you like don't shy away from the fact that new metal was defined quite a bit by the fact that there's a lot of hip hop and like rapping influence in a lot of new metal.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people who are trying to do the new metal revival, since new metal is kind of like a resurging genre right now, um,
Hmm.
they don't bring in they don't try and rap on any of the tracks. They try and like keep that out, but somehow you manage to do that and still remain tasteful.
Like on what is that song called again? See, I don't even remember my own fucking. Oh yeah, What It's Worth. Yeah, What It's Worth, and even Black Plague. Hip hop is just special. There's a reason why hip hop is, kind of dominating the culture right now. Um, because it's just there's just a certain energy that you get from it that you don't really get from other music, and I think that's why in new metal they use that, because it's like an energetic, kind of just lose your shit genre. um and I am I'm mixed. My mom is black, my dad is white, and I get a lot of like colliding worlds when it comes to growing up and listening to music and stuff like that. So yeah, I just try and incorporate like anything that is interesting, anything that could just, I don't know, sound new, I guess. Yeah.
You do a good job with it. It's definitely better than like sometimes you'll go to a show and there'll be some metalcore band up there, and the front man's trying to like do a rap verse in the middle of the song, and it's the worst part of the entire set.
Yeah.
You definitely do it a lot better than like a lot of newer metal rap fusion.
Yeah. I just try and like you said, I just try and keep it tasteful. You know, I think with what I'm doing right now, it's kind of like uncharted waters. Like there's no tutorial on like how to make like the type of music that I'm making. So it's really just about discovering with myself what I want to hear and what I think is, you know, good enough to put out, I guess.
So back to the heavy genres for a bit. On the beginning of Zion, you sample what I'm pretty sure is the cough from Sweet Leaf by Black Sabbath. Are you into
Oh,
like
that's Blood Sugar. Yeah, yeah.
oh
Yeah,
Blood
that's
Sugar?
the
Whoops. But are you
yeah.
into a lot of like older or like classic heavy metal? And if so,
Dude,
like
I'm
what are
into
some?
fucking everything. That's one thing about me. I'm into everything. I listen to a lot of shit, but yeah, I love Black Sabbath. Like Black Sabbath is crazy. They like I wouldn't say there's one certain thing that directly influences my music. It's just really about like the appeal with Black Sabbath to me is in the 70s, you know, like the Beatles were big and like Beach Boys and shit like that, and they kind of just created a sound that nobody had ever heard, and that's what's the most intriguing thing about bands like that. It's just like they brought something new to the table. They, you know, created something and everybody loved it too. Like Black Sabbath is like a household name, and it's really inspiring when bands do that, when they can like create something new and then make it work, you know.
Do you have any other traditional metal bands that are like a big influence or that you want to talk about at all?
Um, let's see. Well, I have to mention Electric Wizard. Electric Wizard
Oh
makes
fuck yeah, dude! I
the
fucking love
best
Electric
music.
Wizard.
Electric Wizard, like I know music is objective, but I feel like objectively, Wizard makes like the best music I've ever fucking heard because it's just so like
It is genuinely like the heaviest. It might be like the heaviest band that still like maintains.
it's heavy. The thing about metal, like I know I make like metal inspired music,
Yeah,
but the thing about metal is like there is a beauty to it. It's not just, you know, the heaviness that,
that's kind of what I'm trying to
you
say.
know.
Is like they're one of the few bands who can like make it sound really crushing while still maintaining
Yeah. No,
that
yeah, it's definitely
etherealness.
crushing.
Yeah. But are you a big like doom metal guy or?
Yes. Doom,
Fuck
yeah,
yeah, dude.
Doom is one of the best genres there is, hands down. I don't give a fuck.
Doom is probably my second most listened to genre in general.
Yeah, yeah, there's also a newer band called Hell. I don't know if you've heard of them,
I
but
haven't.
they also inspire a lot of what I do cuz they also they have some tracks that are kind of like folk music, and they're a doom band. They're like a really, you should check them out. They're really fucking good. But most of what I like is like they have these like folk sections, and then it just goes straight into just, you know, those classic crushing doom sludge riffs, and it's just like it's shit like that where like people take um just what's the word, people, they just take steps towards like something that is just like I wouldn't have thought of that. That's great, you know. I think that's what I like about Witch House as well. Is Witch House is another one of those fucking genres where it's like, oh my god, this shit is amazing. But it's really dark. Witch House is really dark and melancholic, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, it sounds like lullabies to me, to be honest, and it's crazy how they just put this southern trap, you know, shit over it. Like Salem is another like group that just fully inspires me to do what I'm doing because it's just like unapologetic. It's just like, here's these detuned ass vocals just like rapping over this fucking, like, I don't even know, man. It's just so great. Like these crazy soundscapes and these like dark 808s and shit like that. It's crazy.
Salem's one of those artists that like I've been meaning to do a big discography deep dive into, but just haven't yet. I've listened to King Knight all the way through.
King Knight's great.
It's fantastic. I really like what I've heard. I need to get into the both Salem and like Witch House as a genre in general. It's really one of those kind of things I've been interested in that I haven't dived into too deep.
Well, yeah, once you dive in, there's no going back, really, because before King Knight, they were doing, they have this, what is it? They have this, I don't know, they just have a bunch of loosies. You can go on, like, YouTube and just find a bunch of shit that's, like, circa 2008, like 2008 to 2012, of just, like, random ass songs that they've made, and it's really good. They also have this, EP called Yes, I Smoke Crack, which I think anybody who is making music, like anybody who wants to get into it, like that's a must. You have to listen to that. Like it's only 4 songs, and the first time I heard it, it blew my mind. There's a track called Dirt. It just reminded me of like Nirvana in a sense, like just this counterculture, like grungy fucking trap. I don't even know. It's crazy.
So you think that's like a good project to listen to if you want to get into making music? Do you have any projects that influenced you to start making music or stuff that like was
Yeah.
inspirational for you in the start?
Let's see. Well, I mean, music has always been there for me. Like I started playing violin when I was 5. I asked my parents like to get me a violin. And
Do you still
then
play at all?
no, 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 no. I stopped because I liked metal more. Like I listened to, like, at the time I was like 8. I got a guitar and I listened to like AC/DC and like shit like that. Kind of cringe now, but
All 8-year-olds
that all
like ACDC
yeah,
though.
yeah. That's like metal for an 8-year-old. Yeah, but yeah, I got into like guitar and I just kind of taught myself and never really took any lessons. So I mean, what inspired me to start? I would say like ASAP Rocky is is an artist that kind of made me think like, yo, I want to like really do music because um what is it? Live Love ASAP? No.
Long live ASAP.
I
Is
think
that
it's
what?
At Long Last.
At,
It's the one with like the face, you know what I'm talking
he's got a
about? Like
couple
the
albums that are like named similar things like that though. He's got
Yeah.
like 2.
Yeah. I don't know. I forget what it's called. That's funny that I forget that. But yeah, ASAP Rocky definitely sparked something in me. I would say Kid Cudi as well. Korn, definitely. Deftones. Uh, Specific records though. I would say Around the Fur. Um,
Classic.
No Love Deep Web. No Love Deep
Classic.
Web is another record that really it kind of put me in the mindset of like I want to innovate things. You know what I'm saying? I want to change some shit up because that record is just completely off the fucking walls. Anybody who knows that record knows.
I think death grips for a lot of people in kind of our generation, as we see more and more people make a name in music, we're going to see death grips become a bigger and bigger like known influence, like artists' favorite artist thing. Because
Yeah,
I feel like anybody who's making like electronic heavy music, I don't know what the word is for it, like mishmash, is gonna at least
just
know who Death
abstract.
Grip. Yeah, like that type of kind of genre mashing abstract music is gonna quote Death Grips as an influence.
Yeah, I mean they built the fucking, like, they're the cornerstone.
For real.
Like you kind of, yeah, that's another thing you kind of have to listen to. Um, to kind of put yourself in the mindset to like make something great, I think. Let me think. Meshuggah is another band that I feel like kind of sparked something in me because I don't know if you're familiar with them. Do you know them?
I know Meshuggah, yeah.
Yeah. With the polyrhythms and shit like that shit just like blew my mind when I heard it, and like made me like those artists like instilled it in me. I was like, I can do this. Like if they can do this, I can do this shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. I feel like Meshuggah is like a cool one. I like Meshuggah, but I feel like they're definitely a music artists band where you have to. I don't play any instruments. I don't like make music of my own. And when I
Mm-hmm.
listen to Meshuggah, like I can kind of start to understand a lot of the music theory ideas that people
Yeah.
are telling me that's in there, but like I can't fully wrap my head around it. But like a lot of people I know who play guitar and stuff like that are big into Meshuggah.
Yeah. The thing about Meshuggah, because I can only play like a few songs that they
Mm-hmm.
have. Um, but the thing about them is if you can kind of wrap your head around what they're doing, the type of grooves that they can create just by like mixing different time signatures and shit like that. It's just about because I don't know, like how do I word this? Here's what I'll say. Like for me personally, there isn't anything that um, inspires my musical process. Like when I listen to music and I hear something I like, I'll go, okay, yeah, that's dope, that's awesome. But it doesn't. There's not a single band that makes me want to do what I want to do. Like I sit down at my laptop and I make whatever comes to my head, and it's just these bands and these records that can expand your mind, open you up to new things, and that's really crucial to making music, because if you don't have the ideas behind it, it's just gonna be whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I was just about to ask, like, do you want to go over what the process of making a song looks like for you from beginning to end?
Yeah. So step one, marijuana.
Hell yeah.
Um, that's a must, cause that's another thing that puts you in that headspace to just like not give a fuck and just create, just create. Um, but other than that, I'm not even the most like I don't have a routine. I don't have like a method. If it hits me, it hits me. If I want to like sit down and make something, I can whip something up in like 30 minutes. I think that's what happened with Zion. I made that in about like 2 hours, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm putting this out.
So with you, it's kind of like if you get the spark, you can sit down and like really bang something out.
Yeah, and then sometimes on the opposite end of that, I will have no ideas and it will fuck me up. I'll be like, damn, I don't have no ideas. I can't do nothing. But I mean, in terms of like equipment, I guess like I don't even have. All I have is a laptop and like a what is it called? Audio interface. And I think that kind of goes to show that. Well, I mean, it's proven now. Like anybody can do anything. I've never had like a formal education in music. I don't know music theory. I don't like. I taught myself how to play guitar. When I got a DAW, I opened up Google and just looked up how to fucking use a compressor, how to use a limiter, how to do vocals. So yeah, that's my process. It's just crack open the laptop, get a little intoxicated. I cannot believe I did not mention LSD. LSD is also something that is crucial to opening up your mind.
Is the LSD for like before for getting in the spark, or is that like a during the process element as well?
It can be both. It can be anything you want it to be. I usually just take it before, and usually it just leads me to that. Like I might be out doing something, or I might be like, hanging with friends, and it's a long trip. It's like 10, 12 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll have this like 8-hour experience, and then the last 4 hours I'll be like, wow, that was amazing. Let me go and make something, because like the experience just drives the music. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I've got a song that I made while I was tripping, and that one's not out yet, but I can tell you that shit is fire. That shit is fucking fire.
How far into making Jihad are you?
Oh, dude, you know, every step that I take, like I'll complete something. I'm like, I'm almost done. I'm almost done, and then it just keeps going. I don't know. There's always something I'm wanting to change, or
You just keep getting higher standards and like bigger aspirations every time that you
definitely
see a success in
yeah,
it.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Because I feel honestly, I could put it out right now and it would probably be pretty good, but I would say my ambition is kind of holding me back from doing any of that right now. Like, I want this album to be the best album, like one of those albums I was mentioning, like that just kind of changes your perspective and just changes music as a whole. I want it to be great, and I want it to take me places. I feel like I want to speak on this. I feel like with the scene that I'm in, I've gotten to meet a lot of people, and it feels like some people are of the opinion that like underground is just where they want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm honestly trying to take it to like a whole new level, like a household name type shit, like with what's it called? Fucking Black Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
they were able to achieve just worldwide status, and I know that's kind of ambitious, but why would I shoot for anything less than that? You know what I'm saying? Why would
I mean, if you never try,
limit myself?
you're never
Yeah,
gonna.
like why would I kind of hate when people kind of just limit themselves to a certain area. Like, how could you not want your music to be enjoyed by fucking everyone in the planet? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You have it in you that you could make it. When I was listening to a lot of those early artists who are coming out of like the A2B2 scene, you were one of the ones that I definitely like saw, latched onto, and was like, this guy has like the potential to really go somewhere with your music.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It felt like some of the most unique and like high quality stuff coming out of there.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course.
I would say like it's just a matter of like, I know it's cliche, but you have to kind of believe that you can get there. You know what I'm saying? And I think another contributing factor is I like pop song structures.
Yeah,
Like
that's definitely.
I make my shit like verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus. You know.
It gives it a really catchy feel. I feel like a lot of your songs get stuck in my head.
I think that's what people need to understand. Yeah, I think that's what people need to understand is like you kind of need that in your music. Like, you can make something really dope, but something has to stick in somebody's head. Like, there has to be something that really clicks with somebody to where they're like, I want to listen to this over and over. I want to follow this person. I want to see what they release next. There has to be that aspect.
you can listen to the most like technical, like crazy ass black metal that you've heard in your entire life, but you might come out
Yeah.
of it not being able to tell one song from the next, or like being able to remember any specific moment in it if it all
Yeah,
just
for
kind
real.
of nothing stuck. It can still be like a fantastic album, but it's not gonna stick with you the way that something with a
Yeah.
pop song
Yeah, I
structure
think it's really
will.
really important. And it just makes music better, in my opinion. Like I do listen to like some weird shit that just like, doesn't follow any rules, but when it comes down to like, I'll go back to Salem. Salem does a great job with it. They have everything, I feel like, that just kind of catches your ear and makes you want more.
Yeah, I think that's how like an artist as experimental and
Hmm.
harsh as Death Grips got as big as they are, is
Exactly.
because they still kept that pop song
Yes,
structure and those
exactly. Yeah.
catchy choruses and hooks. Like everybody knows the
Yeah.
intro and the chorus to
It's
like Get
fucking
Got.
genius.
Everybody
Like,
knows
it's fucking genius.
like people made fun of
Yeah.
Guillotine, but like
Uh,
people still remember
yeah,
that
it
song
goes, it goes. Like, everybody
for a
fucking
reason.
knows that, bro. And, like, it's important. People need to understand that, like, you can even have, like, the most, like, abrasive ass music that just, like, yeah, it's so crazy, but if you don't have something memorable, you're not going nowhere. Yeah. I think, so I'm actually, like, right now, I listen to a lot of, like, baile funk. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm not.
But also like hardcore, just like the doom 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 doom,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know. And the best part, specifically about baile funk, is like there's literally just one little rhythm that they basically just play the whole time, and that in and of itself can be the thing that catches your ear. You know what I'm saying? Just like, bam, 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 bam. Like it just, I don't know. You repeat it enough, it's gonna get in your head. I think I think there's a lot of oversaturation, like with stuff. What's like breakcore is kind of popping off right now, and I hear it everywhere, and it's
Yeah.
really getting on my nerves because nobody tries to like change anything or update it. Like it's just an amen break that kind of just pushes that genre, and it's really annoying.
I love it when it's done right, but I'm starting to hit a point with breakcore where like so much of it just
Yeah,
sounds very samey. Where it's like atmospheric sample in the background, some
I liked it at first.
yeah, yeah. When it was like first starting to pop off, I was like, "Oh shit, I like the sound. I'm glad to see more music coming out of it." But it's like completely taken over
Yeah.
all electronic subgenres, and there's still a lot of it coming out that I really like. Like when it's done well, it's one of my favorite genres,
Hmm.
but most of it is kind of, I don't know, uninspired.
Yeah, I would say uninspired. I would say the music industry as a whole right now is kind of hitting a wall, um, which is like people who are not willing. I'm gonna blame TikTok and that sort of like short format video.
Yeah.
That just something has to. I got so much beef with TikTok. Something has to like spark your receptors in 7 seconds, or that shit's just gonna fly right through one ear and out the other. It's really fucking annoying. Like it definitely like pushes a lot of great artists back, like who are trying to actually update things and not like just make something that just works. It's just something that'll get you like an amount of views. To me, like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't give a fuck if I blow up tomorrow or if I blow up in 20 years. Like, I just want to keep it real. I just want to make shit that you're not going to get from nobody else.
Yeah, I definitely see what you mean with like the whole industry being kind of uninspired right now, especially like I feel like even mainstream radio pop music like a couple of years ago was way better than it is now. I feel like I even though I in like middle school or like early high school I was a little pretentious hater, I still remember more of the songs from then than I do
Yeah.
what's coming out now. And like, I'm talking like not like underground or like niche or pop artists, but like the radio.
Yeah. Well, like now there's just a formula. I know you see those fucking terrible like pop punk garbage songs that just, kind of pop off on the platform.
Yeah.
Just on the internet in general. Like, and nobody really likes it, but it's generating people the audience that they want. Like, what is it? Bad publicity is good publicity. Is that the term?
All publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Well, yeah, for them, like, it's just publicity. They're just getting it. And
yeah.
That's
how an artist like Machine Gun Kelly can be like one of the biggest out right now, is because even though probably most people hate him, that's still attention on his face to get him on people's screens.
It's kind of crazy because I can't name a single person that actually likes even that genre, even whatever is happening right now. Like, how is it that these people are making money and going to all these events and playing these big ass shows? Like, nobody wants to fucking hear that. That shit is garbage. Turn it off.
Yeah, there's a certain point. I think the initial pop punk revival was genuine. I think a lot of people were like kind of going back and listening to 2000s rock bands, but that's one of those like genres where it immediately got.
Oh, I'm not saying pop punk. Yeah, I'm not saying pop punk is bad.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about
punk.
like that. You're talking about that like new like label made.
Yeah.
Pop in quotation marks punk.
Just like industry plants, yeah. I don't know. I got beef with all of them. I don't like none of them.
I feel like we went through a lot fast. We could talk. Do you want to talk about like A2B2? Because you did some of the online like the URL fests, right?
Yeah. Well, I was it kind of. Well, I was on episode 1 of the radio. Like, I joined, actually, I don't remember, so I'm not even going to try and recall that. But I joined pretty early on. I think it was, like, right after Night of Fire 1, like, the live stream.
Yep.
And I don't think I even had music out yet. No, I didn't. And I was working on Optica. And I joined their marketing team.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on.
What did that entail?
Nothing. Fucking nothing. Like that. It was just a label. Like it was just like, you're on the marketing team. Nothing happened. Yeah. Nothing happened. But yeah, and then I put out Optica. That was my first EP. It's very, very dingy. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I still like it. And a couple people in the server also liked it. I had a song on there called Ghost. It was in Arabic. It was like Shabakhun.
And that one made it to the album. That one made it to Nadir, right?
It did, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Yep.
And that is the song that aired on the first radio episode. And Bort I don't even know what he is. He's like a manager or some shit. I don't even know. But Bort shouted me out. There. Yeah, he's just there. He shouted me out on that, and that kind of put people onto my music. And it also kind of, made me go, okay, I need to start taking things a little bit more seriously. So I started working on my album. And I still didn't have like a huge following at the time, but yeah, I started working on that, and I put out 2 singles. One was Zip Bomb, and the other one is Black Plague. And Black Plague definitely was one of those songs that kind of got me like an actual audience. And so I aired on episode 3 of their radio show. I also did, like you said, Sunset Fest. I played a URL set. And then after that, yeah, just growing my audience and they were planning Night of Fire 2, and I played that show. It was fun.
Wanted to go, but it was 21 up in at the NYC one, and I was still 20
Damn.
when it happened. So I kind
I was
of
18.
Oh yeah, but you performed. God
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't give a fuck.
I just I kind of witnessed it through Charter's Instagram posts, and that was about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out microplastic. Shout out Charter.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun, but I mentioned all that stuff that I did. I was on, episode 1, blah 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 blah, all the way up until there. And the thing about that show is, it wasn't really planned very well. And I actually, funny story. The whole reason I even got that placement, like to play the show, Bort had DM'd me and said, hey, do you have any videos of you, performing that we can see? No promises, but we're thinking about putting you on the show. And I had never played a show before. So I actually, I asked my friend at the time to get her friends to come to my apartment. And we did this little fake house show. We just recorded me performing. It was 4 people. There was
That's
nobody there.
Oh my god, that's so DIY. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was super last minute, because I said I was like, yeah, I can send you something, and then I said, actually, I've got a house show coming up. Can I just send you videos from that? He said, yeah, that works. So yeah, I ended up just doing that. I sent a couple clips, and they put me on, but there was always this threat of there was a lot of competition in that server. It was a creative, server. There was a lot of people who were creators, and I think it put me in a weird position where I was always kind of wanting the attention, if that makes sense. Not the attention, but it's my music. I want to make it. You know what I'm saying? I want to kind of be on top. And I didn't really like that, because I also wasn't taken very seriously, just because I was a community member. And playing that show, they had a main stage where, Machine Girl and Arca and all them were playing. And the community stage. Yeah, and there was this community stage off to the side, and it was in a whole different room. It was a back room, and they told us that there would be signs pointing to that door saying there's another stage here. But I heard there wasn't. When I got there wasn't, and I also heard from security that they were told to tell people that's the main stage is the only stage, and that was really disappointing. And so I just spent the rest of the night in the green room, kind of just a lot of people came and watched, because I had to hold the door open with my jacket. But it was just kind of damn, it just made me realize that if I want to get anywhere, I can't really rely on, this thing that kind of just I can just be casted off to the side whenever, you know what I'm saying?
You don't want to have all your support coming from one location, because if that one location shuts off, then there goes your support.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people at that time were just kind of not happy with the things that A2B2 was doing, and I decided to just distance myself from that. I just left the server, and I actually after that I just went on my Instagram, and I was just like, hey, I'm putting together a server. It's called Omnimortem, and I was I wanted it to be a thing where it was just a few people, a close knit community, of people who take themselves seriously and want their things, like their art, their music, whatever it is. We've got people who, like Daniel amazing visual artist, also very smart, very like codes and all that stuff. We've got, you know, a bunch of different musical artists like Ella. Ella is extremely fucking talented. They're a rapper, and they have these like ethereal beats. I don't even know how to explain it. I think you should get in touch with Ella. Ella's really good. But yeah, we have a few like just artists that I put together just to like have this common interest. You know, we help each other out. We help each other with the visuals. We help each other with promoting. You know, we help each other with mixing. We just hop in a call sometimes and tell them what direction. I get help. Shout out my boy Connor. Connor helps me all the fucking time, like making my music, telling me, hey, this part, you know, you should kind of dial back on, or you should add like synths to this part, and it's just really it's a lot. It's way more gratifying than being in just a random Discord chat with just people you don't know, and just trying to, like, what it felt like with A2B2 is I was trying to just convince people that I was worth listening to, you know what I'm saying? Like, just promoting myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, not really having anything in common with a lot of people, not really being heard out, you know what I'm saying? And I just thought it would be better to distance myself and start up omnimortem.
Is that public or is that like a private server?
Private. It's a private server, but we have Instagram.
Gotcha.
Where we post, like, whenever we have a release coming up, we post about that, and sometimes we like do the paid promotions on Instagram. Yeah, and if anybody listening to this ever wants to just have one place where they can find great music, great art, just go to that, because we'll always be posting about all the artists that are within that, and we'll probably invite some more people in at some point. Right now we're just focusing on the people that we have.
I guess last question, is there anything coming up that you want to shout out?
Just Jihad. Like, be on the lookout for Jihad. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to make this album great. I'm trying to make this something that people go back to all the time and say, this is the album that inspired me. Other than that, nothing really.
All right, sick. You heard it there. Keep an eye out for Jihad and keep an eye out for all new omnimortem releases. We'll catch you next time here at the Bughead Podcast. Have a nice night.